the pathway in becoming a masterful engineer. Now, to become a masterful engineer, you've got to go through a few processes. Next, you need to set goals and stick to them. Now, goals are really important for your development. It's like a step-by-step process, and you go through each goal and you go higher and more confident as you go along. And thirdly, you need to be constantly working on yourself, and we do this via personal development. Now, here's a question. Why is it that the Americans for decades have been ahead of the UK since the 1950s? Now think about it. In the 1950s, if you think about like TV series like The Fonz, The Happy Days, remember The Happy Days? Well, in The Happy Days, they used to have really nice cars, big fridges, electric garages, all these type of things. There was years ahead of us. We didn't have that. We had big garages, all these type of things. There was years ahead of us. We didn't have that. We had black and white TVs. We didn't have these things. So they had better things, way more advanced than the UK. Now, we're just going to step back and just go into a little history lesson. In America, they was the first country in the world to develop self-development. And this movement was started by a person called Russell Conwell. And this was done in the 1900s. Then in 1926, a man called George Clason, he published a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Then in 1936, a man called Dale Carnegie published a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now this book was a really massive book for me. I've read this and listened to it mainly through audiobook numerous occasions. It's fantastic because it really is true. It was written all that time ago and it's still, the principles are used today. Absolutely fantastic book. The next one, this was also done in 1936, was done by a lady called Dorothy Braid. This was published, like I said, in the same time, and this was called Wake Up and Live. After that came along Napoleon Hill. In 1936, he published this massive book, Think and Grow Rich. Now that book, it's countless, probably 100 million people have read that book. It's fantastic. It is definitely the backbone of basic success, and if you want to basically go forward, this is a book you need to read. Absolutely brilliant. Moving on, in the 1950s, a record was produced by a person called Earl Nightingale called The Strangest Secret. This was also a really good bit of information, but done in a way what wasn't done before. It was like basically like the first audio book, you can, if you want to put it that way, in the 1950s. Then in 1968, a man called Og Mandino, he published a book called The Greatest Salesman in the World. This book is also an awesome book. What it really said is that 10 points, 10 key things what you need to do and have and possess for you to be successful. And I use them 10 points. I go through them, I listen to them, I analyze them, I digest them. They're really good things you need to actually get involved in this book. Then in 1983 the book was reissued, and I think that sold about 50 million copies. So it's a fantastic book. Now with all this information and this way of thinking, this has shaped the most successful, wealthiest, happiest people throughout history. And it'll do the same for you if you apply this information. And you can get this from the Mindset Business Training website. And if you'll see, you can also see the recommended personal development audiobooks as well. Now, this is totally unique to the heating industry. You don't get taught this in school. You don't get taught this in the workplace, social media. It's just not being taught. So you're going to have a first lesson in this particular topic. You obviously might know some of this stuff. You might be applying some of this stuff, but it can be a refresher for you guys and people who don't. Hopefully it's going to be an eye-opener. Now, the magic formula for success. So on this side, we've got technical knowledge, which is what most guys know. Technical knowledge, boilers, radiators, the tools, know what to do, and know everything about the technical side. But not everyone knows about this side of things, the people skills. As I said, it's a subject what's not really spoke about. But when you add these together, you get true success. And we'll go through how we're going to get that success. This is the question. Did you know that the technical skills of a tradesman will only give them 15% of their financial success? And did you know that people skills of a tradesman is going to give them 85% of their financial success? Wow, that's a real big eye-opener. In fact, do you find it alarming? Because these figures are straight out the book of Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influencing People. So most tradesmen, they haven't mastered the art of dealing with people. And it's because the way they think, they don't project themselves in the right way, and this doesn't arouse enthusiasm in others. So dealing with people, it's going to be the biggest challenge in business and in life. So those who master both technical and people skills, they're the ones who are going to be the most successful. Now, knowing that, most tradesmen, they're totally oblivious to all of this. So why is that? And it's because of social programming. Lots of people, they're not happy. Lots of people, they're not successful. Lots of them, they're not healthy, and they're not wealthy neither. So it's all because of social programming, social media. It's full of negativity and social programming. Now, you just got to look at the news. What is the news? Bad news, murder, destruction, earthquake, rape, all bad. Economy going down, job losses. What good is that for you? How is that going to make you feel good about yourself and things? Not good. So, to be happy in life, you've got to limit yourself from this stuff. You've got to limit yourself from watching the media and listening to the radio. And you've got to replace it with things of personal development, things like audio books. You can listen to it while you're driving instead of listening to the news on the radio. Now, if you want to be successful, you've got to go against social programming. As I said, you've got to stop it. You've got to basically swim against the tide. With social programming, they don't want you to save. They don't want you to invest in yourself. They want you to spend more money than you're earning, meaning going into debt, meaning buying something what you can't really afford, blowing up your credit card. This is what social programming does. So you have to go against what everyone else is doing. This is the difficult part though. Everyone does it because everyone's doing it. And they think, well, he's doing it, so I'm going to do it. And that's how people work. But it's wrong. You have to go against the grain. So by going against the grain, you learn how to budget things. So you budget. You learn how to save. Then you can invest in yourself. And most importantly, you earn. You don't spend as much as what you earn. So you keep that under wraps. Now, because people are not happy, we've developed this culture in society that bad manners and being bad towards each other, it's the norm, it's normal. That's how it's become. People won't let you out at a junction. No way they're letting you out. You got to wait ages to get out. People stick fingers up at you if you make an innocent mistake. We all make mistakes, but yet, bang, up goes a finger or the face. And about the faces, people walking around with a bad face all day long, just that's it, with unhappiness, crap in their mind. On social media platforms, it's all bad attitude, bad manners. People commenting terrible things. They just want to put you down. That's all they want to do. So by going against social programming, we do this by simply applying good manners. We have awareness for others. That's what we can start doing. By having good manners, you'll stand out from the crowd. It's simple, because everyone's doing the bad stuff. You do the good stuff and you will stand out. And you can do this by simply saying, thank you. Make an effort, conscious effort to say thank you and please and appreciate that. These simple words make such a difference, and you'll stand out and people will appreciate it. So when you meet someone, make sure you just give them a firm handshake and have eye contact. Because with a firm shake and eye contact, this is how we connect. We connect a lot better. And this is how relationships are created. So with good manners, we can learn to treat others like we want to be treated. This will be your backbone of success with your customers and people in general. So the next time you're walking about and you see someone, just simply smile at them. That's it, just smile. But remember, not everyone will smile back, but it doesn't matter. You keep smiling because some will. And if you get the opportunity, open the doors for someone. Say good morning, good afternoon to your neighbours. If you can, help someone. Help someone cross the road, an old person. Anything what you can do. Be aware of others. Just be constantly thinking, what can I do for that person? Because if you do something like that, you're going to make them feel good and you'll feel good too. And with this mindset, it's going to set you apart from all other engineers out there. It will set you apart. And you'll be adopting the growth mindset because you can be constantly learning because you've got this awareness. And people who haven't got this, they've got the fixed mindset. So with this way of thinking, this will shape anyone. It's going to give you the most success. It's given people the most wealth, the most happiness. This is a known fact throughout history. And this will be the same for you if you apply this information. And you can get this through the Mindset Business Training on the website. And also you'll see the recommended personal development books. Now, the Masterful Engineer, as we were saying before, this is your ultimate goal. And the Masterful Engineer manifesto is this. We say, never give up. Make no excuses. We push through. We spread the love with good manners. We get the job done. We take action. We're confident. And we love ourselves. And this is because we haven't got negativity in ourselves. We kick butt. We stay focused on the job. That's where we want to be better. And we're unstoppable. So we're the engineers who see things differently. And memorize this quote. Business is made from people. And without people, we have no business.